hope you're having a spatial day. This is Michelle Williams, your Survey123 Jedi. And what we're going to do today is we're just going to go through the main survey of Survey123 and then get you familiar with how things work. You're going to find a template here in our class files. And week 4 is building your survey. You can come over here, and I believe there's a download button. There it goes. So it's in my download folder. I'm just going to open it up. Make sure it's there. This is what you're looking at. Everybody seems to have a family and friends. So this is a great address book for you to get your feet wet. I'm going to close this. We know it's in our download folder. So we're going to close that and open up Survey123 Connect. So here's what that looks like. And we're going to go into new surveys, into file, and then we're going to insert our file into this area. So go to select and downloads, and there it is. And we will call it the same thing. And I'm going to put a date on here. I like putting dates. It tells me when I did this. All right. And then we're going to say create a survey. You could put your initials on the back end if you think that you need to get things back and forth to me for some edits. Then yours doesn't, then your name is not exactly the same as mine. Okay, so the way that I set my Survey123s up so that folks can see them, it makes it easy for me too, is I do like 1/3, 2/3, because you want all this real estate over here. So what you're looking at here is the template. We make things really easy for you. I've already set it up the way that I like to see things. I put appearance in green. I put default and calculation in green and field lengths in green. Now you'll notice something else that I do is my hint rolls. And that the reason for that is because I set it up that way. And you may want your hint to roll also. Esri likes to scroll after hint. So let me show you what that looks like. So if I come over here, I can say split and split, and you'll see that now my split is on this side of hint. And what that means is now when I'm going to scroll, it scrolls that way. I don't like it that way. I like, and see, it's really ugly. I like to click on hint on the row number 2. I'm going to undo the split. I'm going to split it again. And you see how it throws it on the other side. And then come over here to freeze panes, and you're going to freeze the side and the top. And so now when I scroll, now it rolls correctly. You can use that for any of your Excel files. It's a really cool little tool. So what we're looking at here, I'm going to show you what we have in the GUI. So we have some radio buttons, and this is a select one. You'll notice I can only select one. If I do a select multiple, you're going to get those squares, and then you can do any of those. Then I have just a text box, and you can see what's going on over here. I have that select last name, select one, and the name of your domain. And the reason for the reason this is a little longer is when you come into choices, last name, family last name is right there. There's last name right there. So which one did we use for this one? We used last name. Choices. Here's your last names right here. And then going forward, let's see, we have some text boxes. And you'll notice those are the types. Remember last week we talked about the different types. So here's some text fields right here. You'll notice some of them have an asterisk, and those are required. So if you click all the way over here and you'll go to require is in the G column, notice that there's a down arrow. Just make sure that you use the yes that's in that drop down, because if you do capital yes, the software doesn't see it. It doesn't know what to do with that. You'll also notice I have a couple flags over here. So some of these, you'll notice that there's a little space right there after address. If I click back one, it clears that one up. Same thing here. Same thing here. Yes. Now that one gave me an error, and I'll tell you in just a minute. So this one has a space also. So state is probably something that Esri uses. So maybe we don't call it state. Maybe we call it state underscore. And that now it's all cleaned up. So that's what those little carrots are for. They're to give you some indication that something is wrong. All right, let's see what else we have here. Okay, so we have your location, and that looks like this. It's a geopoint. You have all three options, but if you need two options for your survey, one of those needs to go into a repeat. And the reason for that is this is your point line and polygon, and you can only have one of those for your feature classes, things like that. So keep that in mind. This is what that's one of those tricks that you need to get through. We also have a photo, and that's just image. We say take a picture of your family. We also have some information that's a little hint, and I have some code in there. It's going to show up red, horizontal, and in the software. I like to tell people what to do. If you leave it open-ended, then they may do it horizontally, they might do it vertically, and that can affect your feature reports. So if you have feature reports and you know how big that space is and you want it to be horizontal, make sure you tell them horizontal. And then I have a couple pieces in here, LinkedIn for more tips. So what this is this is hyperlinks, and I liked the hyperlinks, and so I gave you a couple pieces of formula. Now, this is going to be a few different things. So this first one is my LinkedIn, and the second one is how to get some more training. And so I put this all in here so that you'll have it, so that when you need to link something, I'm looking to see if there's anything else. So the binds are null, and let me tell you why. When we try to publish this, you're going to notice that we don't actually need a name in here because this is a note. But because I wanted to share that that one is LinkedIn and the other one was some challenges that we were doing, I actually had to put an extra piece in there that said field types. So don't be overwhelmed with that. Just know that if you have a note and you don't put these two in, you don't have to do this extra step. I just did it because I didn't want it in the attribute table. There's no need to fill up the attribute table with this type of information. So when you do click on it, it's actually bringing up my LinkedIn page. So now you know how to find me. I live on LinkedIn, so that's my social media of choice. If you ever want to get a hold of me, just DM me. And as long as I'm not super, super busy, I usually will get back to you within the day. Down here, you're going to see this text field for version of the field app. And so what I wanted to do is just get you a little familiar with some calculations. We can do pool data. Pool data is a cool code, and you can just Google that, and you can see all the different things you can pull data from. This pool data is actually pulling from which Survey123 app number they're using. So we're on 320. And there you go. We made it through there. That was pretty easy. If you want to add some things, you can add whatever you want. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just show you how to add a piece of text or a new field. So when you want to add something, you want to grab the number that you want to push down, and then right mouse click and hit insert. And what that's going to do is that's going to push down everything, all the data from column A all the way to as far as you have going on. Once you've added that new field, now you can go in and you can tell the computer what you want it to do. Maybe you want a date in there, and then you can come over here and you can put date. And it doesn't like it because date is one of those fields in this reserved field, so that you can't use that one. So what I'm going to do is do the underscore, and we can call it like date of inspection. And hit save. Now dates for your end user when they do these, your date of inspection is null before you do anything else. And they have to click and click to get to where that is. Wouldn't it be nice if you just auto-populated it for them? So I'm going to clear that out. And I'm going to show you how to auto-populate that. So go to data inspection, and I'm just going to come over here to calculate. And you can say now, open bracket, close bracket, in the calculations, not in default, because default it doesn't read as a calculation. You have to do it as calculation. And now it auto-populates. So keep that in mind as you're going forward. Do the least amount of clicks that your user needs to do, because if they're happy, then they'll do what you need them to do in these surveys. If they're not happy, they might decide not to use the app, and then they're going to go back to paper. So let's go through a few of these down at the bottom. Do we want to add a thumbnail? So we can open up this file and notice it goes to the system 32. That's not very helpful. So I'm going to open up the file folder first. I'm going to grab the link, the URL. Now I'm going to go up here to thumbnails. I'm going to paste that into this URL. There we go. And then I'm going to come over here. That's where I want to be. And then I also am going to grab in my download folder, I have this PNG. So I'm going to grab that PNG and drag it there. So now I can say close. Now I can do that handshaking because it doesn't know what we're doing yet. It knows that, it doesn't know that there's a file in there. So we did the handshaking with that update. And now what we can do is come back over here. I think I still have it. I do. I still have that link. And now I can come in here and add my thumbnail. That's all we're going to do today. We are going to publish next week, because when we publish, there's a lot of different aspects to that. And I want to make sure I give you enough time to do all of that. Your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to add a few fields to your Survey123 project. I've given you all the code for all of this. Now all we need to do is add to it so that you feel comfortable doing it. So add a few types. In fact, what I would do is come over here to question types, and maybe highlight the types that you've already used in this template, and then go through and figure out if there's something you'd like to learn about. Some of the cool ones that you may want to try is username and email. And you could do device ID. That's a lot of fun. And then grab a couple more. You might like file, you might like barcode. See what they do. And, just try to make it your own, so that, it might not be exactly a family address book while you're looking at it, but kind of feel out what it does. Maybe 3 new items. Thank you for liking and subscribing to our channel. We drop trainings in here all the time, and I want you to be the first one to be able to see them. At some point during your journey in Survey123, you might need a co-pilot or a room full of co-pilots. We have that for you. We have a coaching call that we do once a week for the price of a few tacos. And we meet up to answer each other's questions. I knew that I didn't have all the answers. Survey123 is a big universe. So what I did is I brought people together, and our community is growing. So whether you're watching this late in 2024 or in 2025, just know that we're growing. And life is better with friends. So get involved with folks who are like-minded, and some of them are going to have more experience than you, and some of them might have less experience. So we help those who need it, and we glean from those who have the knowledge. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you on the other side.